Your fear of man problem manifests itself in these different ways. Now you're saying to yourself, well, what exactly is this fear of man business? This is the sense that people's opinion about you is paramount. You have to have it. If you do not get approval from some people or all people, your reputation isn't high, then you feel really low. Your issue is that you have got to be affirmed. You don't want anybody to think anything bad about you because you will crumble if they do. That is a fear of man problem. Now, understanding that, let's take a look at these issues a little bit more closely and see if this describes you. And I think you're going to see your relationship to the accurate biblical diagnosis that you've got a fear of man problem. You're overly competitive. You say, well, connect the dots there. Okay, you got to win. Do you know that guy? He's got to win. What's going inside of our hearts is if I lose, they're going to think I'm a loser because they fear man's opinion. See how this works? You've got control. I've got to be in control of this because if I'm not in control of this, things don't go right. People will think that I'm not good or that I'm not powerful or that I'm not smart, and they won't think rightly of me because I fear man's opinion. When you're shy, because if I get into the arena, people might see that I'm not very good at this and they'll have a low of opinion of me because I've got a fear of man problem. Do you see how the Bible has us tagged? Look, this is not easy. I got to warn you about this. The diagnostic that the Bible does on our hearts can be very painful because it gets in there. Unlike secular psychiatry, just kind of skims a stone on the surface. Hey, you just need some self-esteem. You just got to fix it. Just think like this, act like this, do this. No. The Bible goes, I'm going to cut you open right at your heart, and we're going to peel back the layers to get to the root of your problem, and it can sting a little bit. For instance, you've got avoidance issues. You don't want that person to see me not looking like this because you've got a fear of man problem. Your self-con, always aware. What are they thinking? What are they saying? Did they really say that? Do they want it? How do they think about? What did they say? Did anybody ask about me at the? You're overly sensitive. Anybody says anything to you and you're like, You're oversensitive when somebody says to you, for instance, you know, that seems like a good idea. Really? No, tell me what you really think. Do you really think that's a good idea? Because what do you do? You're mind reading because you want to make sure that they're not really thinking anything bad about you because they're not telling you the truth because you fear that they've got a different opinion of you. You're easily embarrassed. You've got to have somebody to hold you up because you are not held up by anything else but other people. You rely on them. A fear of failure because people will think lowly of you. You're given to gossip. You say, how's that a fear of man? Well, what does gossip do? It cuts other people down and it brings you up. It slices them down, chops them down so that they can have a higher opinion of you. Furthermore, if there are other people that you esteem as being better than yourselves, what's the best way to bring them down so you can be on top of them? Chop, slice, dice, backbite, stab them in the back so that they get brought down low so that you look better because you want everybody to think highly of you. You're reactionary. You go off the chart when anybody, hey, you know, I was just thinking maybe tonight we could go to the mall or something. Why? Didn't you like what I made for dinner? You're just, whoa, and you're really defensive. What do you mean by that? Tell me the truth. Is that what you're really? Overblown reactions. And finally, you don't handle rejection well. It crushes you. It brings you down because, yikes, if people don't think highly of me, why? Because you have a fear of man problem.